Happy Jill Scott Appreciation Day. It's See It with C. And this is the Monday meetup. Thanks for coming to chat with me. My name is Carlene, solo traveler extraordinaire. And this is a Monday meetup where every Monday we get to chatting about travel and cruising. So get on in here. As you all know, on Sunday, I released my Explora Journeys vlog, which before we even get into chatting and travel, we got to talk about that whole escapade. Trying to get that vlog out. So I want to basically recap my Explorer Journeys. What is it called? Embarkation Day vlog. Answer any of your questions related to travel or cruising or Explorer Journeys. And yeah. Then wrap it all up so I can get my butt ready for going back to work tomorrow. So welcome on in here. Come on in. We are live for the Monday meetup. We have our first person in the chat, your sis Cassandra. Hey Cassandra, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for commenting on the video. And good to see you. I think I finally got it right. I think we're a couple Mondays in a row getting your name correct. We have Kristen H, the moderator, and thanks for being a channel member, Cassandra. Which we need to schedule a channel members chat for one of these days. I want to make sure we get at least I want to have a goal of like 4 channel member conversations, just a Zoom where we can, kick back, talk, do the unfiltered stuff that's not on the channel, just get to know you all. I have the privilege of meeting some of you, or I have met some of y'all in person, or I talk to some of y'all on a regular basis. There are some of you that I have not touched base with, and I want to make sure that we all feel connected. So, but Kristen, thanks for being a channel member and thanks for being a moderator. He said, hey, everyone, happy Monday. Happy Monday, Kristen. And thanks for vetting my, I got a little, a DM snafu. And so I texted Kristen, like, did I respond to this appropriately? So yeah, I'm trying to so I'm an older millennial where I don't do business in my DMs, but I have a few people who actually doing the business aspect in the DM is helpful, but I try not to. So anyway, I was doing business in the DMs and the thing took a turn. I was like, Kristen, help. That's some behind the scenes baseball that we'll talk amongst channel members. I want to go with Yolo's in the building. Welcome in, Yolo. I was just chatting with Yolo on Paul's Travel PMB's live, so we're kind of floating around the live stream streets. Cassandra says that would be great to do a members only live stream. Yeah, I was thinking about doing it next Sunday, but then I'm like, maybe we need to do usually I'm in the house like Friday, so maybe a Friday. Because usually Fridays, like I don't create content, but Saturdays I'm in the house usually editing. Sundays can be a mixed bag because usually I'm already edited, so that's like I can get out the house. Sunday's my freedom day, so we'll see. I gotta schedule something, but I want to put something on the books where we can kind of kick it back. Maybe late Saturday. We'll think about it. Put in a channel membership. What day would be good? Maybe I'll put another post. I put one post, but nobody responded. So I'll put another post to say, like, do y'all have any ideas that are good for like a members only Zoom? So we can connect. What up, Steph Stone, my DMV cousin? Steph, are you finally out of the ice? Let me tell you, that ice whooped my ass real bad, because when I say my car was literally stuck in a random church parking lot, which thankfully the church couldn't like tow my car because it was so much ice. And then when I finally get my car out, the dang on fuel the fuel pump had went bad. And my car is only 2 years old. So I was like a nervous wreck because it's the beginning of the year. I got my financial goals. I'm like, all right, plan and prepare for everything. Anywho, it was under warranty, but literally I did not have a car for a week after the storm. And they just said like the fuel pump went bad, but I'm pretty sure like just sitting under 5 degrees for so many days. So hopefully you are thawed out, Steph, and back to business as usual here in the DMV. Because that ice was no joke. Trish's Thomas Travels in the building. Welcome in, Trish. Good to see you here. I was hanging out with Mia yesterday, Trish. Is Mia last name Wood? Mia Wood. So yeah. She's also with our host. You probably know because she knows you. Who else we got in the building? Folks are speaking to Kristen. Lita Shay, hey, saying hello to everyone. Hi, Lita Shay. Thanks for coming in here. Lisa T is in the building. Hey, girl. Good to see you here. Thanks for popping by. The Foxes getting G's in the building. G, make sure you check your email. It's saying happy Monday. Thank you, G. Happy Monday to you too. Let's see. Kristen says it goes down in the DM. And see, I finally got to a point because like I finally got to a point that I feel like DMs aren't like a naughty word, right? Because at one point I think DM had like a certain connotation. So, I was trying to be wholesome and doing business in the DM, and I had like a whole conversation that just went complete. I started with giving cruise recommendations, and then child. All right. YOLO says it's snow on the ground. I'm not going outside. And for us, it's not even snow, it's ice. Like I've never seen that before. Like I was expecting like at least like some little bit of fluff, like a little maybe like a crunch and then like some fluff underneath it. It was solid ice. It was solid ice. And I had to catch the bus for a week, which was like a whole experience here in the DMV. Jesus. So yeah, I'm glad to be thawed out, back to normal. Heading back tomorrow. So, and then it seems like the temperatures are on the upside. Like we are now in the safe range of like 50s. I see like a drop coming, but I think we're out of the super coldness. In my cruising era, hey, it's in the building. Welcome, Emily, girl. Thanks for being here. Trish says Mia's my girl. Okay, cool. Yeah, Mia's known me since I was a little girl. Yeah, she's really good friends with my god sister. So literally, like I think I was born in '84. My god sister was going to college, and then my god sister met Mia being down in Hampton while Mia was in Norfolk, or the day before then. I can't remember, but so Mia's known me since like forever. Probably 35 to 40, if not the full 42 years, which is wild to me. Big Murph, which is weird to see, like not weird, but it's cool when you have like full circle life moments. Like there are connections beyond YouTube. So cool. Big Murph, which had me cackling with your the pastor at the bar shore, is in the building. Welcome in, Murph. And I was sitting there like, what cruise does he have booked for 2028? Because I know I haven't seen nothing yet. Not that it doesn't exist. But nothing for 2028 has caught my eye. I know I'm pretty much to the point that I have 2027 booked and not adding any more, or trying to like leave a little space for like a couple little 2028 pop-up or 2027, pop-up opportunities. When you say you had 2028 book, I was like, oh, where he going? I was being nosy. YOLO says, please hit those likes up. And if you don't want to know what a like is, it's the thumbs up button. So if you see the thumbs up button, whether if you're watching on your TV, you can look at your phone, and usually your phone and your TV will sync. You can hit the thumbs up button, or I believe like you push the up arrow on your remote, it might give a thumbs up. Or if that's too confusing, after the live stream, you can just go in, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment on the video. That kind of just helps get the information out there. The YouTube algorithm is being really, really weird. And usually I don't get like in the weeds of like numbers and stuff, but I've just been like, well, what the hell do I need to do? And right now I think it's not like what I need to do. I think it's irritating because I think it could literally just be like the aesthetics of like my thumbnails. It could be the aesthetics of like the videos, which I totally understand. But my hunch too is like whenever you put out like the room tours, which I love a room tour. Actually, I've been working with a client all day and we've just been watching YouTube videos trying to pick the right room by watching other people's room tours. But those numbers, like it's weird. YouTube doesn't like look at your numbers by individual videos. It almost kind of looks at like the trend or maybe an average. I don't know. But I put out a series of like small, quick clips related to Star of the Seas. And then I put out a bunch of room tours before I started getting into this new series. And I think I'm in a bit of like an algorithm rut, but I'm going to try to focus. Like, Carlene, you had the vision to create it. Like, just put it out. Hey, Travel Stew. Speaking of really good content, the Travel Stew, Shanae, and her hubby are in the building saying, hey, Carlene, quickly pop in and say hello and that you love the latest Explora vlog. Thank you for popping in and saying that you love that vlog. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Yeah, I was probably this is gonna be like the most unique cruise that I'll be sharing for this year of 2026. So let's get into it. So yeah, fresh off of Explora Journeys, which first rewind. Let's talk about how it was just a whole like production to get it done. So this weekend, I was like, oh, bet it's a holiday weekend. Like, I was like, let me try to get a couple weeks ahead of editing while I can, since it'll just kind of take the stress off of having to do like video on video after the other. Like, let me see if I can crank. My initial goal was crank out one video a day over the 4 days that I was off work. Well, was doing great. Got one video out. Then I did the Started Explorer vlog. And literally, I think it was like my headphones and my computer clash with each other. And it caused the whole video to I was literally in like the final steps. Like I just had to add titles. It caused the video to crash and I had not saved it. So I was like, you know what? They're just gonna get a Royal Caribbean vlog. Like, I'm just gonna send the Royal Caribbean vlog. But it was irking me because last week during the Monday meetup, I told y'all that this vlog was coming out. I told y'all, I was like, y'all are getting this vlog. And so I sat there for like another 30 minutes, did something else. And I was like, no, go ahead and re-edit the video while you can at least remember like how you made certain cuts and what you were thinking about different sections. So I toughed it out and redid the video. So I edited Explora Journeys twice, just to be sure y'all can get it on Sunday. So I appreciate everybody for watching it and leaving a comment, etc. But that is going to be my most. And since we're getting into hellos, this is our first icebreaker question of the evening. So related to Explora Journeys, of course, I'm gonna run my mouth about that. But to get us, into the chat mode. The question of the evening is, besides money, what defines luxury? Is that, you get it? So besides money, let me know in the chat. Like, what defines luxury outside of the cost? And I'm gonna get back into your comments, and then talk a little more about the embarkation day video. Folks, speaking of Shanae, it is 75 degrees in Atlanta. Too bad it's not a Friday. Thinking about the Glorilla song. Seven Stone says, we were in the same boat with cars. Just replaced my catalytic converter last week. Wow. Yeah, I think that code was just rough on cars. I was just thankful. I was like, Lord, I'm thankful it's under warranty. And then, you gotta be careful with DC because apparently they've been stealing pieces from cars that I think are connected to the catalytic converter. So that's a whole nother thing. And that's initially what I thought. I was like, well, maybe because my car was sitting at random lot, like somebody had unconnected, took a piece or something. But I don't know. Apparently, new cars, sometimes things are a little loose. I don't know. But I know one thing, it better be the only other issue, or about not be another issue connected with this vehicle. 80 and who, Lord? Let me see. Who is this? Mark. Hey, Mark Happen says, what up, Beyonce? You was chilling in that suite. I had a time in that suite. And no worries, there will not be any more dancing videos for a long time. That's probably like the last dancing video, or I might remix the Beyonce one because Miss Sydney was saying that it went too fast and she couldn't see all my dance moves. But yeah, that suite had me feeling some kind of way. So yeah, got on Explora Journeys out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, which in the video you saw, that was my first time ever embarking out of San Juan. So I was already kind of prepared for, a lot of folks say, San Juan cruise port is known to have terrible traffic. So I picked a hotel that was by the I picked an airport hotel. Which I gave channel members an inside scoop about that one. Because I landed so late at night, I just didn't feel comfortable. And I had not been to San Juan flying in years. So I was just like, let me just park it by the airport and get to the cruise port in the morning. So pretty much as soon as checkout came, I just went ahead and called me an Uber. So I did end up Ubering. I told y'all I was thinking about being adventurous and getting on the bus, but When I read the information about the bus, they said I had too many bags to catch the bus to the cruise port. But luckily that day, even the Uber driver said, she was like, oh yeah, it's kind of quiet today. No, she said, it's very nice today. Because as we were pulling up, I was like, oh, there's no traffic. And she was like, oh, it's very nice today. So that's something to be mindful of when you go to San Juan Cruise Port. You might get a very nice day and you might not get a not so nice day. The only ship in regards to traffic, the only ship that was in port that day was Oasis of the Seas, and that's because they were saying that with the Labadee cancellations, Royal Caribbean, because I was surprised to see that big of a ship in Puerto Rico. Even though World America, when I was on World America, we went to Puerto Rico, but I was surprised to see an Oasis class ship there. And they basically were like, yeah, they were supposed to go to Labadee, and because of the closure of Labadee until who knows when, they had to come to Puerto Rico. So it was only one ship in port along with us. Trish says catching the bus is ghetto. And even more in the sense of like, I don't know if it's like a pandemic thing, which is weird because it's like we should be over with. But like a lot of our bus lines are running late. So I don't know, it just gave me a whole different perspective. Like I used to work in a school setting, and a lot of times people would say very interesting things about our family who had to rely on bus transportation. Like, why can't they be on time? And why can't they make this appointment and that appointment? If you ever caught the bus, like, just be grateful that you made it anywhere in any special condition. Because when I say everything was running late, I'm not sure it had to do with the ice, but it was definitely like an eye-opening experience for me. And I'm just happy to have my little car back so I can just get to the metro station. But y'all keep y'all prayers up because I want to get back to full-time remote immediately. Folks talk about Murph and getting caught up being booked in 2028. So yeah, probably the most simple and easiest embarkation process. And remember the question, our icebreaker question is, besides money, what makes an experience a luxury experience? So what was I about to say? Oh, so rolling up to the cruise port, it was very seamless. Basically, you just have like your passport, you have your check-in documents, and then they print a really nice little luggage tag. They slap it on your luggage, they take it right there, and then you're off to go inside the terminal. Or I was a little tempted to like make a U-turn and go into San Juan because I'm on a mission to get to whatever the world, what is it, the world's first or the first pina colada place. That's my goal for San Juan. I tried to find it one time and I just was getting lost using Google Maps. So I was about to make a U-turn after I checked my luggage, but I was also kind of that excited phase of traveling. So I was like, I'm just going to go in. So once you kind of go inside, who is it? Explora Journeys offers like a boutique style check-in, meaning they don't have that like long, crazy line where usually, you know, how you're going through like all the turnstiles back and forth. And, you know, it's basically you sit down, you wait for one of the tables to be open and somebody like guides you to the table or whatever, the check-in table. And I think if it's your first time or if you status match, a manager will come over to greet you, which at first I was kind of like, oh Lord, they didn't get my money because I told y'all I missed the final payment date for Explora Journeys. So the lady was like checking me in and she was like, oh, I have to get a manager. And I was like, oh Lord Jesus, like this trip is about to be over before it even begins. Big Murph says it was a cheap 5-day cruise on Carnival. Ooh, Carnival Festival. Ooh, in January, a little over $1,000 for a balcony. Absolutely, on a new ship for a 5-day. Yes, that's a good deal there, Murph. And I am looking forward to that, like seeing folks with the festival content. I haven't like locked in yet if I want to do festival or not. At least I don't know, but that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. Let's see. Folks are hitting the thumbs up. Trish says we appreciate your commitment to getting out the video. Oh, thank you. Yes. So YOLO says, I think these are starting to answer the questions. So my first question was basically like, what makes a luxury experience besides cost? YOLO says vibes equals a luxury experience. Murph says, give him his Michelin, give him his stars. It's about the star rating. Okay. Oh, Kristen says, repeat the question. The question is, what makes it, besides money, besides the cost, what makes an experience luxury? Yellow says layouts. Okay. Travel Stew says, for me, luxury is defined by upscale food offerings. Cool. Steph says the experience. Yola D, we kind of here with the level and attentiveness of service. Yes. Yellow says the food, the furnishings, the vibes. Oh, let me plug my laptop in. Don't crash. I forgot. I started the whole live stream with no power. There we go. Yellow says the food, the furnishing, and the vibes. Yes, those little like nuances. Like I remember so far I've only had, I think, 2 luxury experiences. So I believe Explora is considered a luxury experience. I'm not sure if it's considered luxury or considered premium. It felt luxury. I mean, they had a whole like Rolex shop by appointment and a Cartier. So I was like, I don't see that on your premium lines. But like I remember selling what was I selling? Regent Seven Seas, and they literally have Versace plates in the main dining room. And it's like, wow, I don't care that I'm eating a Versace plate. Like it's not the end of the world. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna flip one plate over and like, what is this? But it's kind of like when you see it, you're like, ooh, those little touches. G says the vibes and the services. Gotcha. Trish says the service with the extra touch. That defines luxury for me. I could be at a 3-star hotel. Preach it, Trish. I can be at a 3-star hotel, but they give me a gift with my name on it, I'm sold. Remember, one of the newest, Michelin star restaurants in Mexico City is literally a taco shack in an alley. Because of the quality. So yeah. Murph says the clientele can make things luxurious. Got you. YOLO says donkey poop. They can be ghetto too. We could talk about it because somebody remind me to tell the story. I encountered, it was the most elevated prostitute conversation I've ever overheard some gentlemen have, but they were definitely talking about prostitutes in Monaco while I was sitting at the bar, and I was kind of like, this is ghetto, but hey. So sometimes, yes, there could be a little, peeps, peeps of banshee that pop out every now and then. Traveling with P says, I love the watch. I was cracking up during dinner when you first started trying your food and you tried to hold in laughing because you knew that food was hitting. That's when you know it was good. Yes. You're talking about eating the main dining room. And for the most part, it was good. They just, when we talk about those special touches and quality of service. So that's where I think that's where I'm kind of going this conversation, and we'll kind of segue back into my embarkation day on Explora Journeys. So got on the ship, and immediately, as you saw, it was wild in relation to, the what is it called? The atrium area. Lovely. I love that they brighten the ship up a little bit, because sometimes MSC, as this is MSC's premium luxury cousin. Sometimes MSC does things a little too dark for me. Like they'll have cabins full of brown, or they'll have cabins full of purple, and it just gives like old 70s porn vibes for me. So like I appreciate like the lighter, crisper kind of furnishings or decoration, and they definitely kind of brighten things up a little bit on a lot of it actually on Explore. Of course, you walk in, and similar to I would imagine your other lines, they have your champagne, your I think there was like a cocktail or fruit punch offering like as soon as you hit the door. Then it was up because there's no other options for when you're boarding, and they also do the same type of boarding as MSC does, where you literally, some people are getting off the ship, like some people are debarking in San Juan days, some people are debarking, so in Miami days, and their Barbados days. I'm just talking about for the Caribbean sailings at the moment. Currently Miami, Barbados, and Puerto Rico, I believe, are both embarkation points, they're debarkation points, and then you have people who are staying on board. They kind of do that rotating thing. So that day, I think because watching the videos, and I think it's been like a slow roll on there, filling up the ships. So watching other videos, I was kind of like, okay, these ships aren't to capacity. Well, I went to the Emporium, which is pretty much similar to like the Virgin Voyages concept of a galley, but much more upscale. And it was like chaos in there. Like everybody was in the buffet. So it felt like a boarding day buffet. And I was kind of like a little taken aback by that, because I was like, okay, I thought maybe I could sit down, be served. I'm not sure if there was, and maybe I missed this, if there was like a restaurant option. So like they offer boarding day and like a boarding day lunch in Med Yacht Club. Is it called Med Yacht? Is it Med Yacht? Yeah. The restaurant, or Phil Rouge. But I was up in the buffet and I was kind of like, ooh. And even sitting down, it took a while for like the water to start coming. And it took a while for like the waiter to start pouring me wine. Once they realized I was sitting there, it kind of became more frequent. But I definitely say in regards to like that luxury vibe initially, and I would say this also kind of went into day 2, where for me, when we're talking about like a luxury experience, I felt like there was a couple of moments on day 1 and day 2 where I sat a little too long before being waited on. Somehow miraculously, and I'm not sure where it took the turn. Eventually, like I had my camera out. I mean, one, I was the only Black solo woman on the ship that wasn't a part of like staff or the entertainment. So I think after a while, I'm not sure if like they just things kind of calmed down after the chaos of boarding day, or B, did maybe the word get out that I might have been blogging. They got a little more attentive the evening, day 2 into day 3. But day 1 and day 2, I kind of had some moments where I'm like, if I have to sit here one more time and nobody give me some water, like it's gonna be an issue. But it wasn't like bad in like the normal sense. Like it just was kind of bad because it was like this is supposed to be an elevated experience. But again, after day 2, 3, like they got it together. They got it together. Let me get back into some of the comments and then we'll keep talking about the Warden Day vlog. But I wouldn't say like it broke anything. Like I am definitely plotting my way on getting back on Explorer, but I just wanted to kind of like highlight that through the question of like sometimes when you say like this, like what makes things different? Because immediately too, when you get on these lines, so when you get on Explorer, when you get on Regent, these people are chronically name dropping. So they're going to let you know, I sell Seabourn, I sell Silver Sea, I sell Regent. Like they're going to let you know. And a point of conversations, they're going to also do this thing where they're chronically comparing all the lines. And it's for the smallest thing, but honestly, that small thing makes things like the luxury experience. So that's why I popped that question out there. I have a follow-up question, but I'm not going to give it out there yet. Welcome in, Kenny. Thanks for being here. Kenny said, hit that thumbs up button when you get a chance. YOLO must be cutting up because Murph is laughing at her. Yours is Cassandra says, definitely upscale and elevated selling. Oh, yes. It was definitely upscale and elevated. So another thing that I wasn't ready for, and I think I downplayed kind of watching the channels, other channels and like other vlogs, was I thought it was like luxury with a little more relaxed feel. And no, these people came on boarding day. Folks were dressed to the nines. There was the Louis, there was the Montclairs, there was YSL. Like the girls had their bags. I noticed another thing was like talking about whoever said like luxury, the clientele. Everybody had watches. Everybody had watches. And then the evening, it was interesting to see like the change of what people put on. Like this one lady had a necklace, and I'm like, if those are actual diamonds, that's at least $20,000 on this lady's neck alone. So I will say like you don't have to like break your neck and go like super above and beyond, but it was definitely like you want to wear your resort casual. So you don't want to be like, I don't know. It just didn't feel like a t-shirt and leggings. It felt like resort casual, really cute cover-ups, really cute bathing suits, those kind of things. And then the evening, a nice dress, a shirt tie, those kind of things for ladies seem to be the norm. Sig is here, our expert on Explora Journeys herself. Sig the Solo Cruise is in the building. She says, I thought I remember having to print out my luggage tags at home. Now I'm not so sure. And see, I was running like a chicken with my head cut off prior to boarding, but no, they had when for San Juan cruise port. Now I'm not sure if this is different for like coming out of Miami or a different port. But for San Juan, and other people were doing it, like everybody, because there wasn't even an option. I don't believe there wasn't an option to print my there was an option to print out my, what is it called, my barcode. So I needed that barcode for them to scan, and then that generated the luggage tag. But I was looking, there was no option to print out my luggage tags. I keep my little clear plastic case on me and ready. But I like it's a really nice, like, I don't know, nice little piece of paper. Scan it. It's a little thicker than like what they put on your luggage at the airport. So even that was a little like chic. Travel with PNB. Hey Paul, good to see you over here, Paul. You got my head going with the luxury conversation. Says it's easy to find the first place they had the pina colada in San Juan. Okay, good to know. I couldn't find it. I couldn't. What I did find, I found Raices. That was a good restaurant, but I ended up finding there was a restaurant dedicated to Marilyn Monroe. I think it's called Maryland's. I found that was a cute vibe. But the last time I went to San Juan was on Carnival Magic a couple years ago, and I couldn't find the first one or the second one for some reason, or maybe I walked past it. But yeah, not me. Yella says she's been to that place twice and it's worth it. I don't like coconut. Good to know. I'm gonna put it back on the list. It was just I didn't even try this time because I was like, they checked my luggage. Maybe I'll go back into the city. And honestly, I was just like, no, I want to get on the ship. I want to get on the ship. Who is it? Paul says the place is Barranquilla on Fortaleza in Puerto Rico. There's two of them, right? So there's Barranquilla, because both of them alleged to be the first. And I want to just go to both just to see, like, I don't care which one is first. I just want to know which one is best. Six says for her, luxury is stress-free environments, cuisine, and service. Yes. And I will say the environment was definitely stress-free for me. And that was one thing that, like, I will say, like, I've only had 2 luxury experiences. But comparison from Regent and Explora. And again, I'm speaking from, because it's a whole nother element of like traveling and then traveling while Black and then traveling while you're solo, young and Black. Because people have a lot of questions about like, how the hell are you on the same ship as me? And so Regent, I would say like the stress-free came after a while, but folks on Explorer felt way more like tolerant. Like I think people looked, but I didn't get the stares. And I didn't get the awkward questions of like, what do you do, etc. It was just kind of like, oh, you're here. But I mean, they were definitely name dropping and status dropping, things along. Not as crazy as how they were on Regent. Like one of the guys I love so much on Regent, like he was like, I have 3 Jaguars. And I was like, okay, Mr. So-and-so, like good for you. So and that sense of like stress-free and the relaxation. Yeah, so you can definitely tell that they're an upscale clientele, but they weren't super like snooty in that sense. So serenity and relaxation, yes. In regards to luxury, Capri says luxury to me is live music, dress codes, social loudness. Okay. And shopping offerings. Okay, okay. Social loudness is a that's a new one. I like that term. I like that term so much. Let's see. For luxury, Paul says for luxury, I start with the room. The bedding, the ship has to be exquisite. The food has to be Michelin quality. The entertainment has to be top notch. And the service has to go beyond believable. Yeah. And I will say I will okay, let me get back into it. I want to interject, but then I want to like read your comments. But Paul, when you said beyond believable, so the service was like, again, when you're up in this level of like luxury, you're really getting down to like the nits and grits, like the really small things, right? Of, not only are you going to give me quality service, but are you also going to like remember my orders, or something that was like a small thing but noticeable for me. So I am by training a doctor. I have a doctorate of education. Even though I put like my, what is it called, my prefix, was something that region did very well, which it shocked the shit out of people all the time because they were looking at the paper like, Dr. Ed. And not the end of the world. But like Explora, it was always miss, even though my documentation said otherwise. So again, like small little details that it's kind of like, this is what's going to do the whole little, switching up. Not the end of the world, but again, and beautiful ship, definitely getting back on it. But again, when you're up in the luxury realm, you start to get into the minutia. Like, what are the small things that you're going to give me quality service for and about? Now, I will say again, after a few days, I had a homeboy in Crema Cafe. Whenever he saw me, he knew to get 3 chicken salad sandwiches on a plate because I was going to come and order that. And he would be like, "Hi, Miss Reed, are you doing chicken salad again today?" Yes. Can't remember his name, but I put his name on the little comment card, gave him feedback. Shout out to him. And he knew my order. Now that's what I'm talking about in regards to like, if we can duplicate that a couple more times, like it will be there. I will also say for Explore, you can definitely tell they have 2 levels of recruitment. So one level of their recruitment is people who have kind of made their way through MSc and been promoted. And then there are a lot of individuals who they were recruiting out of the Middle East. So I was talking to a couple of bartenders who, one bartender, like actually the only female bartender on Explora 1 at the moment, is out of Waldorf, Astoria, somewhere out in the Middle East. I could definitely tell the quality of like the people who were promoted through MSc ranks versus the people who were like restaurant trained. Hey, DNQ experience in the building. Welcome in, y'all. Good to see y'all. But again, I'm not like, please be mindful when I'm sharing this information. It's not a point of like taking away. It's just when we're getting into a luxury realm, it's the little things are what really matters. And I will say, like, there were people who definitely nailed the little things. There are people who definitely blew the little things. But it all kind of ends up in a collective experience. All right, let's see what other people have to say. Sig says, okay, there is a lunch. So this is what I highly recommend y'all do. On boarding day. Sig says, yes, Phil Rouge is open for lunch on boarding day before a very short window. So I would say take Sig's advice and try to get to Phil Rouge for that sit down experience on your first day, just so you can kind of become, welcome into the Explorer realm and not have to do the chaotic buffet. I would say, like, if I could do it over again or next time, I would definitely try to have the sit down experience versus trying to like navigate the buffet, just so it can just start in that like refined feeling. Sig says, I think the camera brings a little extra service. I tend to have my camera out and never seem to have a problem with service. And see, I was actually, when I'm editing, or while I was editing, I was fussing myself out because I still have a little bit of shyness about recording. and being mic'd up, because my worry is like I'm gonna be out here on like a very expensive like trip or vacation, similar to if y'all saw what happened when I did the Qatar Airlines Q suite where I almost got kicked off the plane for not having permission to record. I'm a little still traumatized by that. So like sometimes I forget to like not forget. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll just pull out my phone and like video, and not mic up and that sort of thing. And then sometimes I'm like, well, I got to get this shot, etc. So I will say yes, the camera definitely once like I was doing more filming after I kind of got settled in. I'm not sure if folks noticed. I'm probably pretty sure folks eventually noticed because when I went to what was the place? The Asian restaurant. Was it Sakura? Is it called Sakura? The Asian restaurant. They were fumbling. It was almost to the point that I was like, don't come over here and check on me no more. I didn't say that, but it was getting to the point that it was like, ma'am, are you enjoying yourself? I'm like, yes. Because they were coming back and checking so many times. So I think at that point the word kind of got out. But yeah, I think it was day 2 or day 3. Day 3, I think. Yeah. Was that Tortola Day? It was Tortola Day because I knew I was in a rush. Because I had a pre-booked excursion. I did shore excursions group. And literally I had sat with about 40 minutes I had for breakfast and literally got to about minute 35 before I was offered water or coffee. And at that point I had to like hurry up and get down off the ship so that I can meet my tour group. So that was one of the moments I was like, okay, y'all are doing a little, and it was interesting because like every table around me was starting to get coffee and water. And I was like, I know I've been sitting here longer. And so you'll see that frustration probably come out in a couple of vlogs later. But again, eventually it was all kind of made up for. I think I actually had like flagged the guy down at that point because I was kind of doing like the whole social experiment of like, let me just see how long it's going to take for them to wait on me. But then it got to the point that it's like, all right, I need some water and coffee so I can like start my day. So yeah. Big Murph says, so you had to be a vlogger for them to serve you. That's wild. Oh, are you talking about no? Or are you talking about so yeah, I don't know, but I'm not sure if they were like getting settled into, day 1, a whole bunch more people coming on the ship. And then I'm thinking about it, it was actually it wasn't until day 3. Day 2, I was kind of off the ship because that was St. Bart's Day. So that's gonna be the next Explore vlog that's coming out. But day 3, I think that was a day that I was kind of like, it was 2 kind of things that happened. So one, during the solo traveler meetup, and again, small things, but things that add up. And again, when you're in the luxury space, you start remembering, like it's your duty to remember like what your clientele is telling you, how to cater the experience. So the solo traveler host, one of them, had asked me like, oh, I didn't see you register for dinner tomorrow. Are you coming? And I was like, I didn't register. Or no, I told her, I said, yes, I registered, or maybe I didn't register. But whatever I told her, I was like, I'm not sure because tomorrow is St. Bart's Day. We're going to supposed to be out until 10 p.m. If I catch a vibe, I'm going to stay off. And I didn't want to like make a reservation and not come. This lady asked me the same question from the time that I saw her that evening. She asked me like 3 more times that evening. So I'm like, are you asking this question as a nicety, but not really processing? Like, you ever heard have someone be nice to you, but they're not really processing like whatever they're saying, or like sometimes you're like, oh, what's your name? And you're just smiling and you're like, I don't remember that person's name. And she only had 5 solos to remember. So I saw her the next day and she said the same question over again. I'm like, oh, I didn't see you register for the solo dinner. Are you having dinner with us? And I'm like, okay, this is the 5th time now that I have to tell you that like I might stay off because we have a 10 o'clock day. I might catch a vibe. So anyway, all that to say, like, just very like small things that like if you were maybe at like a hotel that is a luxury experience, or if you were like, again, have not been able to experience Silver Sea or Seabourn, but I do know the other people who were traveling, or the other solos at least, kind of like also notice like just small things that like they're going to just have to tighten up with the clientele. Now, the one thing that those people would not argue you with was the value in relation to the quality of the product. Because while, yes, maybe a silver C. You might dot every I, cross every T, tuck the bed sheets this way, that way, silver spoon, all those things. The price is going to be way more than what you might encounter for an Explora Journey. So yeah, I don't think it was like, I just think, I don't know what it was, Murph, but they were, it took a while for them to get the level of attention that I wanted. And I usually don't like require a ton. Like I'm not as soon as I sit down, I need you to wait on me. But it was definitely just a tad noticeable. And particularly noticeable that day 3 where I was like, okay, I had 40 minutes to eat and start heading off the ship. And I was literally at minute 35 and had not been served yet. But they got it together on the back end. Capri says, side note on Explora Journey, your braids were super cute. Thank you. Yes, I decided to go back and visit Boho. I personally have been doing more twists because my hair had to take a break from braids and other protective styles. I want to get to the point that my hair can actually hold like its natural curl pattern. So yeah, I've been doing more other things besides braids because those have been kind of like drying out my hair and breaking them a little bit. Kristen says super slow service will break an experience for me. I will leave. Yeah, and it's like I was on the ship, I couldn't like leave the space, but it was just noticeable. It was noticeable because again, like when you're talking luxury, I'm expecting a level of attentiveness. So yeah, we got it together about day 4. Got it together about day 4, but it wasn't bad on day 1 through 4. It was just noticeable because I'm like, you are a luxury product, so I'm expecting you to be offering service in like a luxury realm, which is quick, attentive service, remembering small details, remembering, orders, remembering your clientele, having conversations where you actually remember, those kind of things. So, Miss Jonesy says, happy Monday. I'm late, but glad to catch you live. Thank you for being here, Miss Jonesy. Kristen says, very well, because I need top-notch service just because I am Kristen. Period. Hello. Merce says, bring a camera for great service. Oh no, it was not that bad, but it definitely, I will say it was noticeable. 6 says your experience was way different from mine. And yeah, I mean also because Sig and I were kind of talking offline about this, because like when Sig sailed, I don't think your ship was to capacity, Sig. And when I sailed, my ship was, I think the capacity is like 900 guests, and we were at 832 guests. And I think they said 14 children, only 14 kids on board. That was something the solo hosts mentioned. But yeah, it was, I mean, again, not bad, but again, when you're down into like a luxury space, there are certain things I'm expecting. And yeah, some of the things with like the buffet, it took a while to get some water. When I say a while, I can quantify it. It was like probably like 15 to 20 minutes before I got like my first drink order. Somebody came and like offered me a drink. The evening service wasn't bad, but the evening service, this thing that you saw in the video, was for my main dish. So I enjoyed my 2 appetizers. I got the baby octopus, baby calamari, and I got oh my gosh, I got this every night. Was it the burrata? I think, no, the caprese salad. Every night that they had it, I got not those 2, but definitely the caprese salad. But I had the Dover sole on the first night. So again, small elements. We're in a luxury realm. A indicator of a good restaurant is how well can you fillet the Dover sole. And for me, I was chucking bones out the side of my mouth, and ended up going to get a second dinner. So small, again, very MSC-ish things, because I will say when I'm on MSC, a lot of times I encounter bony fish. I've also encountered a couple of screws in some dishes on MSC. I'm not in screws. I take that back. They were like little can shards on 2 different cruises, 2 different ships. But didn't complain, just kind of kicked it off to the side. But yeah, my dinner, I was kind of like, if you give me a Dover sole, like it's supposed to be filleted table side and boneless. So yeah, and then yeah, that the day 3, whenever y'all see me do the Tortola vlog, you'll definitely, I think you'll see me actually vent some frustration to the camera. So stay tuned for Tortola. I'll probably explain it a little better. Um, Kristen says, "Ooh, watches are silent wealth because they cost a coin." Yes. So again, those are the kind of things y'all said, like luxury clientele. I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, like everybody's wearing their watches. Like that was something that caught my eye. Um, now, who is it? Murph says, especially after all the money I spent to get on the ship. Now, here's my here's my follow up question then, because something that I have noticed is Explora is kind of pricing similar to a Virgin voyage. So I paid, I think it was like $38.90. $38.90 was a total for my 7-day for the itinerary that I had on Explora Journeys. I literally priced someone today for Virgin with the resident rate on a sea terrace for like $29.50, I think. And of course, like Virgin, you have, you got to pay for your bar tab, those kind of things. Whereas Explorer, I walked off with a zero balance. You had 3 devices of Wi-Fi. You had we had 3 devices of Wi-Fi, all your drinks included, your premium, access to the premium restaurants. And did I say gratuities included? So given a similar price point, because I think they're kind of similar in the pricing, I believe. Would you rather explore the calm based on what you've watched? Because I know, people maybe not everybody in the chat has experienced Virgin, maybe not everybody in the chat has experienced Explorer. But based on similar price points, would you take the calm of Explora Journeys or would you take the vibe of Virgin Voyages? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. Trish says, when a cabin is too dark, I think they are hiding something. And another funny note, when I finally got to my cabin, when I got to the cabin, I was overwhelmed. Like I truly, if you can't tell but all the shorts that I did, hopping, skipping, and jumping around that cabin, I truly enjoyed the cabin on Explora Journeys. But they had a note which I ended up chuckling. I was reached out to the Parkers because they, did the, if you haven't seen the Parker on the Go Grandiosa video related to their floor issue, there was a note on my desk that said, because I was like, y'all picked a very brave color for this floor. The floor in the cabin is like a very light gray. But they have a note in one of the check-in documents, like on your desk, that says, all their welcome documents, that says, we apologize in advance. There may be some spots on the floor. And I just kind of chuckled because I was like, yeah, this is a bold choice for, a cruise line to pick this really light gray. But something I also noticed was there was like a small spot by like my bathroom door that I was kind of like, okay, maybe that tenant didn't see it. I kind of like try to put my shoe around it to see if, like, again, social research, try to see like, okay, how attentive are we to details? Because again, we're in luxury realm. And like there was like a small stain that I think could have been scrubbed out. And I don't think the cabin steward, no matter like I positioned shoes, etc., like tried to like put little things to point towards it. And it wasn't in the world because it's where it was. But again, if my eye can catch it, but yeah, it stayed there. Again, not the end of the world. But when you are getting into luxury spaces where you're like, every little bit drop thing counts, because you literally would have had someone, I demand to call customer service and clean up this spot right now. It was like, okay, the spot was in a very, random part of it was in my closet. Not the end of the world, but like, again, when you're up in this space, you're kind of like, well, what is this? So yeah, Trish, they definitely weren't hiding anything because the cabin was very light and very bright. On the yellow says, right, purses and bags is one thing, but watches are a whole other level. Watches, and when y'all got talking about clientele, art. So one day I was like walking through the ship because they do have I'm not like a big art geek, but they have a wonderful art gallery. And I recently learned about, because I give my little activism on. One, used to be in politics. I live in DC where we are very political heavy. But they have Banksy. I think it was Banksy. I think art, like they actually have it for sale. So a few days later, was it Banksy or the other guy? Anywho, let me stay on track. I was walking by and a couple was making an art appointment to like book, they were going to purchase on ship. And I was like, okay. And them pieces were, we're talking 5, 10 and up thousands of dollars. And they were making an appointment, just like it was a couple of guys who were standing in line the first day to do their because apparently it's a thing on Explora to like buy a Rolex. So there were two I'll say younger-ish guys who they were younger. They might even be younger than me. They were standing in a Rolex line to purchase because apparently that's the thing. Explora has a couple of, I guess, watches that aren't necessarily readily available. And I believe someone says Explora One may be the only one that has a Rolex. I think they try to rotate what is it? Stores and ships. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, they have Rolex and Cartier. So yeah, definitely a different level of shopping for sure. And even like there are small things of what is it called? Like the gift shop, like if you want a memento of like something that has Explora, like it's tucked away very discreetly in like a couple of shelves, and it's like, oh, this is your Explora Journeys merch. Chris is pulling out the hammer. I don't know what's going on. Trish says, I definitely got a few stairs, which I cannot wait. Did I start? I have not watched that vlog. So if y'all follow Trisha's Thomas Ventures, Trish was recently on a National Geographic expedition cruise. And she said, I definitely got a few stairs that first day on National Geographic. But by day 2, they were at the dinner table yapping. Yeah. And it wasn't like compared to some other spaces and times where I've been in where it definitely was like uncomfortable. Like I wasn't like it felt like the Explorer clientele had some home training, at least when it came to Black people. Like it wasn't nothing like really uncomfortable that happened. Channel members, or if anybody who just joined, I have a very explicit story about what happened my first night on Region 7 Seas. So go watch that, and we can also talk about that whenever we do our channel meetup. But yeah, it's always a few stairs, like wow. But yeah, I don't mind the stairs. I just hate when it gets like uncomfortable. And it's like, well, where are you from that you ain't never seen no melanated person before? Big Murph says, I must say, I don't hear many folks talk about Silver Seas. Hello. Is that cruise on a secret society or something? No, they're expensive. I haven't even it scares me to even price Silver Sea. I haven't even looked beyond like maybe I think I looked at like maybe a TA rate or something like that. But if anybody has priced or knows or can do a quick Google search, how much will a 7-night run you on Silver Sea? Somebody let me know in the chat. Because they just seem like to the point that I'm like, ooh, that seemed, I think we talk like tens of thousands and like 10,000 to 14. Is that a quote for 2 people? Does that make sense? I don't know. That's my estimate. Rich and Jazz in the building. Hey, Rich and Jazz, thanks for being here. Saying, hey, happy Monday. Hope you are doing well. And hello to everybody in the chat. Hi, Rich and Jazz. Thanks for popping by. Talking about Paul's description. Yes, beyond believable service and quality. And yes, so I think that's why I had to hit on that, because with the beyond believable was the thing that it was kind of like, I had really good service on Explora Journey. Oh, here's another one. That was the day 2 thing. It was beyond believable experience service that I was like, that's kind of where I have to can't give them all their cool points in that category. So day 2 was it? I had room service that morning. So you'll see this in the first or second blog that's coming out. You won't see the end part, but I had room service that morning. And I left my tray in the cabin. So, excuse me, that was St. Bart's Day. I got back on the ship about 3:00 because I was like, St. Bart's is taking all my money. And let me just get back on the ship because I can't afford to spend nothing else on this little tiny island. So when I got back to the ship about 3 o'clock, came to my cabin. I don't think I even went directly to my cabin. I believe I went and took a swim and then got in the hot tub. But about 3-ish, my tray was sitting out in front of my door. And I did not put the tray there. I left the tray on the table in the cabin. Which even, your basic, your entry level cruise lines, your Carnival, your Royal, they'll, you leave your tray in the cabin, the room attendant will remove it. So I left my tray on the table in the cabin. So I hit the corner and I was like, why is there a table or a tray in front of my door? So I'm thinking, well, maybe, the room attendant is close by, it's kind of just there for a second. I left probably another 2 to 3 hours later, and the tray was still sitting outside of my door on the floor. So when we talk about that unbelievable, beyond believable service, like that's what I mean. That they take these little small hits and dips, and I'm like, they don't even leave your table out on MSC. So small things didn't break my cruise. I will say though, what they will do, which was interesting, as soon as you're done, so like within 30 minutes after eating, like they're calling you for the tray. I think so. It was like the 2 times I had dinner room service, it seemed like I would get a call on the phone. One time I was literally in the bathroom. And the second time I was like, I'm trying to take a snooze after this 7:30 breakfast that I had. So maybe like they tried to call for the tray. But again, beyond believable service, like, why are you calling me 20, 30 minutes after my meal? And I rather expectation I call so I can rest and enjoy my cruise with the relaxation. And then B, like, or C, never would I expect you to put this tray outside my door, making me look crazy. And then not only that, but not just outside my door, but it gets left there for a bunch of hours. So beyond believable. We're gonna keep working on it. They definitely have the relaxation factor though, for sure. Let's see. Yellow says, going back to vlogging, she says, I'm still camera shy in certain areas too. Yeah, I have to still working on getting over that. But sometimes it takes like a little pep talk for me to mic myself up and, hold my camera and do the video thing. But, we're all working on something. It's okay. Kristen says 35 minutes for water and coffee is insane. Insane. And more insane was I was there longer and then at least a couple tables around me, like directly around me. And so it's to the point that I was just like, let me flag them down because I need to get off this ship with some water and coffee in my system so I can do my Tortola day. Yola says I might have said something. Well, you mean like report it? I just I flagged them down so I can get the stuff, but I didn't like report it down there. It takes a lot for me to go to guest services. You won't find me hanging out the guest services line. If you see me in guest services, something is really broken or I am very pissed. So yeah, it was just kind of like, all right, I gotta go. I was getting to levels of festivity, but I just was kind of like, all right, whatever. Just ask for it. DNP and Keith says we're having a conversation. I don't know what this is. All right, down. Sorry, I got behind. Yellow says the maitre d' reflection almost got it for ignoring me and taking the call in the process. No acknowledgement. Oh, sorry. Murph says Yellow is about to turn reflection out. Oh. Let's see. I'm sorry, I got behind. Okay. Smurf says, see, that's why you started eating cereal in your cabin and passed up on the coffee. No, so that was day 2. Them skipping me for coffee and water, that was day 3. So actually I had my days. It took a little longer for them to get on the service train. So day 1, it was literally like just a little chaotic buffet. It took a little longer than I would have anticipated for a luxury line to give me some water and some wine. Day 2, it was, and also night 1 was the Dover sole that had a whole bunch of bones in it. Again, keep saying this because I know somebody's listening like, why the hell is she complaining? I'm not complaining. But again, we are in the plane of luxury. And so you are going to notice everything. Day two was they left my tray out front of my door for hours. And I did not put the tray out. I left the tray in the room. They put the tray out in front of my door and it just stayed there. And then day three was the breakfast in the morning. After day three, though, we hit a turn in regards to like, all right, now we're kind of like, okay, service is now stellar. I wouldn't say it was Paul's beyond believable yet, but it was definitely stellar service. My cabin attendant loved him. Actually, gave him a little extra tip on top of whatever they said that was included in the cruise fare. I had about 3 people. There was one lady in Sakura that I really liked. She was attentive with the service, but not crazy like the other guy was. The sommelier in Sakura was good. The gentleman at Crema who knew my chicken salad order was great. And then there was a bartender in the whiskey bar. He can make an amazing old fashioned. He made his drinks with love. Like there were moments, but it was just that consistency factor to the point again. It became a game with me where I was like, hey, are you from like, where did you work? Is this your first contract? Because my game was, are you MSC promoted or are you from the hotel industry? And it became a trend of like, you could tell definitely people who were from the hotel industry were a little more refined than your MSC social promotions. YOLO says respectfully and did. I let her know, don't do that. Not to me anyway. Ooh. YOLO was about to flip the whole thing over. All right, so we're finally to the question that I posed in relation to hello, 46 people. My name is Carlene, solo traveler extraordinaire. This is the Monday meetup where every Monday we talk about traveling and cruising. And today we are recapping my time on Explora Journeys, which was a wonderful time. I know I'm kind of in the weeds at the moment. It was a wonderful time. My initial impression was I could get on this ship and stay for 10, like I could do 2 weeks on that ship for sure. Definitely look on to get back. I just want is when I always say like you can definitely tell like the MSC just has to work even with its premium products on refining service. But for the quality, the price, the lovely cabin, the bulk of the food, definitely good. And I also could take a better quality of wines, but we'll at least the house ones, but we can, won't get there. All right, just kidding. So the question was that I posed, would you, for the price, based on what you've seen. So again, I know not everybody has watched Virgin Voyages or seen, I know not everybody has sailed Virgin Voyages, but because you all are YouTubers, I'm sure you've watched Virgin Voyages. I know not everybody has sailed Explora Journeys, but because you are YouTubers and you watch the channel, you at least seen one or 2 YouTube videos for Explora. Would you rather, and there's similar price points, I believe, would you rather the vibe of Virgin or the calm and relaxation of Explora Journeys? And the coming off of the zero balance, so no upcharges. Which one would you take? All right, so YOLO says, so YOLO, you're not following instructions. I said you ain't have to be on Virgin Voyages, even based on watching. Would you take the vibe or would you take the calm? Let me know, because there's similar price points, I believe. Kristen says, I need a vibe with my cruise. Okay, fair. So Kristen's going with the vibe. Sig says, I take the calm of Virgin Voyages, but that's just me. Even with the Rockstar class, I prefer Explora Journeys. So you mean the calm of Explorer? Okay. Let's see. Parkers on the Go says, at least they told you. Oh, hey, Parkers. They're in the chat. She said they said it was clean. Don't come for them. Yeah, I was like, they must have got a hold of y'all's Grandiosa video before I boarded Explora Journey, because they literally had a comment card and I sent a picture to Siobhan. They literally had a comment card saying that, like, hey, just FYI, you might notice some stains on the floor. And I was like, okay, because as soon as I saw the floor, and if you look at the vlog, I show the cabin, the floor is a bold choice because, again, it's a very light gray floor. And like, I've done stuff like what was it, on Islander, I spilled a glass of not just like oops, like splash a glass of red wine across that floor. I was able to clean it myself because I was just like embarrassed that I did that and I didn't want nobody like come and but so yeah, I was like, this is a bold choice for a light floor. But they left a note just saying FYI. Kristen says she can appreciate the watches and the art. Cool, cool, cool. Keisha H in the building, being the wonderful welcomer that she is. Hello, Nichols13. Thanks for popping in. Yolo says, interesting. RCL used to have a pre-owned Rolex, and maybe these are pre-owned. She said, can't remember if I've seen them lately. Yeah, but like a Rolex store. Because I believe like they might sell the product. And then there's this whole debate of like, should you or should you not buy jewelry on a cruise ship? That was something that I think I went down a small rabbit hole at one point on about. But I know they had like they have like one or two on the ship. But there was actual Rolex store on Explorer. Or are you saying Royal used to have a Rolex store? Capri says, I would pick Explora Journey because I would catch up on some reading and relaxation. Yeah. I definitely finished a book. And they definitely were heavy on the like the relaxation vibes in a cool way. Like the DJ for Sail Away, I thought that was pretty swanky Mediterranean vibes. There would be a DJ and they're playing kind of the what is it called? Not EDM, but kind of the techno kind of music. And then at some point, there's a live saxophone, and he was mixing Sade, Smooth Operator into the it was good. It was good. It was a different vibe for like the silhouette, not your traditional like line dance party kind of thing. But definitely it was giving like rooftop Grease vibes. Charles World Media says, hey, what's up, C? Awesome, catch you live. Thanks for being here, Charles. Thanks for popping in. Kristen says, Silver Sea is an easy 15K. I foolishly priced out one. I'm glad you priced it out so you can let the people know. So that's why you don't, for Murph, that's why when you say why you don't hear people talk about Silver Sea much, 15K. But I mean, you might find a good, every now and then might be a good like repositioning rate or something like that. But that's a lot. That's a lot. Want to go? Yellow says Reflection has some beautiful watches too. Cool. Keisha H says a 7-night on Silver Sea cruises typically range from approximately 3,000 to over 5,000 per person for a balcony suite, with an average 7-day all-inclusive per passenger costs around 2,000, or average cruise line 7-day all-inclusive per passenger costs about 2,000 to 3,000. So yeah, about 8,000 to 10, 15,000 for a balcony suite is what you're gonna see on Silver Sea. Keisha A says, per Google, you better cite your sources, girl. Let's see. Kristen says sometimes you feel like a nut, but sometimes you don't. But that's definitely beyond my pocketbook. Yeah, I think Explorer has been my most expensive cruise to date. Because remember, Regent, I won that one. I won that cruise. And when they send me the papers, because if you win a cruise at a conference, they will 1099 you. So that cruise was $14,000 according to what they were writing their taxes off on me. Not me. I'm talking about that's what they claim I cost, $14,000 for them. That's what they 1099 me. So yeah, my most expensive cruise has been Explorer to date. And I think before Explorer, my most expensive cruise before that was probably the Celebrity Edge that I did with Melanie at Sea. And that was in the interior. So yeah, like I don't know. Like I had a 16-day Virgin Voyages, the Brilliant Lady going through the Panama Canal. I held that one, but it was like $6,000, and I didn't end up finishing the payments. So to date, 3,800 has been the most I paid for a cruise. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be ready to go up and beyond like a 4,000. I don't know. I mean, well, Yeah, because even my 10-day cruise on Virgin Voyages, the cruise to Cairo, if y'all want to come, I think that's still like the 3,800 range too. So yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna be ready to go beyond $4,000, but I will say, like, when you pay those experiences, like, it's definitely kind of like, ooh. But I think the thing that I appreciated most about Explorer, with $3,800 that it cost me as a solo traveler, I again came off with a zero balance. And actually found out that I left some onboard credit on the table. Naughty me. Hey, Victoria. She said, "Hola, happy Monday, happy Monday." And then we done coined a new term thanks to Paul. Unbelievable service. That's what we want in these luxury spaces. Um, Keisha says, "I'm not complaining." Thank you, Keisha. 'Cause I was like starting to feel bad. Like I don't want it. I'm very appreciative of the experience. I highly recommend Explora Journeys. I think everybody who's a serious cruiser should give it a try. It was a beautiful ship. You get a lot for the price for sure. Again, 3 devices of Wi-Fi. The beautiful suite, which again I cut up and through that suite. Um, Elevated food, like in the evening, there's lobster on the buffet. For sure. But it was just, again, when you're in the luxury realm, there's just small things that start paying attention to. So thank you, Keisha. Thank you, Yolo. I didn't want to like feel like I'm like nitpicking. Well, I am, because you nitpick when you're in the luxury realm. On the go, Yellow says you expect a certain level of service when you are on a particular line or when you pay a certain price tag. And I think that's what I'm trying to convey for sure. YOLO says in the Virgin versus Explorer competition, she said, I prefer to try Explorer, I think. Now, YOLO, things gonna piss you off is a teeny tiny casino. I heard though they're supposed to be making for Explorer 4. The casino might be a little bigger for the casino girls. And that was something that I know the video cut out when I did a live stream. I know Rich and Jazz are asking about that. Victoria says, I would take the calmness of Explorer. Cool. Gina says vibes all day. And Gina, I still have your gift that I need to mail you. And I have no excuse now. My car is thawed out. My car is fixed. I got to get my butt to the the post office to mail your gift. I think I'm gonna just take I think it was a G. Harris Bateman said just go and buy one of the boxes from the post office instead of, because what's really holding me up is I think I'm trying to pack the box myself to save a couple dollars, but I just need to go and use their ready-made box and send your lovely hat that you won for being a channel member. I need to set a I'm gonna do that before the end of the week. I need to make that a deadline, I think, to make myself accountable. Ready, Set, Away says we'll take vibes all day. Okay. Keisha H says it's the calm for me. Relaxing is my vibe. Ooh, bars. Mer says I'm an introvert at heart with a hint of turn up. I think I choose Explorer. Okay, same price. Which vibe? Okay, cool, Sig. I was like, Sig, I don't know what you're saying. Because I was like, I feel like she wants to say Explorer. Sig says, sorry. Yes, the calm of Explorer over the rock star of Virgin. Okay. I'm gonna say mine after I get through y'all's. Charles World Media says, will Def take the vibes all day? Okay. Sorry, I'm traumatizing Parkers on the go all over again, which is the thing I live to do. Traumatize the Parkers. Big up to Siobhan and Brandon. Appreciate all their contributions to the YouTube community. Stone says, vibe me up all day. I could be calm in my cabin. Fair. Hey, sorry, Natalie. She says, it's the calm for me, but hubby wants the vibe. Oh, Lord. So that means I gotta take 2 cruises. One vibe cruise, one turn up cruise. Let's see. Yellow says Explorer and the like are definitely more for me. All right. So I think for the price point, right? I said $3,800. I didn't have to upcharge anything. I came off with a zero balance plus extra credit. I'm taking the calm of Explora Journeys for that price point. I definitely love like Virgin has to offer him, like, you know, the music and the cocktails are way better. But for that price point, like I I want to know I'm gonna have a lounge chair, which I will say for the most part, Explorer, even though I will say talking about luxury space, which I think has nothing to do with luxury, but I was sitting there looking, people watching. I was like, you know what? No matter where you go, this is what Yolo was saying. You got ghetto people anywhere. Uh, no matter what cruise line you on, the chair hoggers are going to chair hog because by 10 o'clock, every like chair, like people literally drop their stuff on, you know, some of the loungers, which were beautiful loungers. I love that they had like they had a bunch of day beds. Pretty much any pool had like a good set of day beds, but folks would surely drop their stuff, go have breakfast, and come back and park it, you know, for the rest of the day. But I will say, like, as a solo traveler, I didn't have an issue trying to find an early bird. And when I say early bird, like I wasn't super early, like maybe 9-ish, 9:30, I could still get me a spot. But by about 10 or 11, the prime state seats, like so conservatory pool and the adult only one, the eight is the ATOL pool. No, I'm about to make up a Helios, the Helios section of the ship, because Helios is very sunny. I would say the conservatory and Helios would kind of fill up in regards to like loungers or places to sit. So just FYI. Brian Pickens says that's a good topic. Should we buy jewelry on board ships? Ooh. And see, that's something that like I'll have to, like, I don't know, explore it. Because I've never, like, when I go on ships, I'm always amazed why they even have those stores. Because like when I'm on a ship, like I've definitely purchased like a purse. I've bought gold in Doha. Like I've bought things, but for some reason, like cruise ships, outside of like I want a tumbler, I want a sweatshirt. I don't necessarily like go on a ship and be like, ooh, you know what I really want? I want this purse, or ooh, I really want to watch. Like half the time I'm just happy to be on the dang on ship. So yeah, we have to, if anybody knows about should you buy jewelry on board ships, but I know when I was doing some research, I try to do light research because I like to try to make sure that my opinions and my thoughts and my reactions are my own and not me thinking, oh, because so and so said this, like I should feel this way too, or why do I feel this way? So I try to do light, like don't get too deep into the research. If anything, I like to read more. So I like to be in the Facebook groups kind of reading things versus watching the YouTube videos. And then I'll watch the videos like after I'm done with like my editing process. But when I was in like one of the Facebook groups, they were saying, you know, somebody was asking like, how do I get into the Rolex shop or something like that? And then there was a whole debate about, well, should you even buy on a ship? And then I don't know if you all remember, I'm not sure which cruise line it was. It was a bit of a scandal that happened where basically like the person said they only touched the watch or something like that. And then the jewelry people aren't necessarily similar to like the spa people. The jewelry people aren't cruise staff. They're like, you know, private, another entity. They basically like overcharged them or something for a watch, and they were like, well, it's yours now, even though the person was like, I don't want it. So I don't know. We have to revisit that conversation because I'm not an expert. I'm usually like the person that when I go somewhere else, so like when I visit a country, I always like to view, oh, what do I supposed to buy here? Like, what should I buy here? But jewelry on board ships, I don't know. Got to come back to that one. Or if somebody in the chat knows, let us know. Love that question, Brian. Cassandra says she'll take the calm. Murph says, and to piggyback on my comment, I love good food, and the food on Explorer seems to be way better than Virgin Voyages. Yes. All the yeses in Yesville. The food was definitely better than Virgin Voyages food. And again, similar price point, just different vibes. The steakhouse, which y'all see in follow-up videos, because again, I only kind of cover my boarding day. So you all have more videos coming. Right now, I just today kind of finished up the St. Bart's vlog. And so you have like me doing tortola, you have me trying out the specialty dining, but oh my gosh, the steakhouse on Explora Journeys, chef's kiss. Sakura, that lobster lumpia or egg roll, whatever that thing was. Oh my gosh, I could eat that for the rest of my life. They had a couple dishes where I was like, I could eat this for the rest of my life. Beyond, just don't do the Dover sole. Do not get the Dover sole. It's going to have bones in it. Or maybe it was how he filleted it. I'm pretty sure it was how he, I don't know. Because I've had bony fish on MSC before. So I'm not sure if it's their producer, the food, the people that get producing the food or what. But other than that, yes, you hit the nail on the head, Murph. Definitely better food on Explorer than on Virgin Voyages, for sure. And I ate like every day. It was 2 lunches, 2 breakfasts, 3 dinners. Like Mercer C was worth $14,000. Yes, Yellow, they sent me a 1099 that year for winning. I was like, well, damn. Again, a weird way to show your appreciation. Definitely got sent a 1099 for my free cruise. And what they had on the books. Now, I'm not sure if, because they're a company, they're trying to write it off. I didn't look to see if like what is the current cost of what the cruise that I went on was going for. Versus, how it is like with the, what is it called? Like there's the market value and then you got the value of like with the sticker price. I don't know. But yeah, it was 14,000 and I could have brought one more person with me. So it would have been 7,000 a person, all inclusive. Now, Regent does include, which was different from Explorer. And then I also hear, because I watched a video on this too, like while, not while researching, but like now that I've been back home, this guy did a video, quick little 5-minute video, very succinct and to the point about like what are the differences between Silversea, Explorer, Regent. I don't know if he throws Seabourn in there or not. I can't remember. But so Regent actually has excursions included. Everywhere you go, Regent will have at least 1 or 2 free excursions on your for each port. Each port you like, so they're truly all inclusive. And my Regent cruise was like a 10-day, and I think I ended up spending $100. I came off with a bill of like maybe $130. And one of that pieces of $130 was my had to buy a airport transfer. I can't remember what else I bought. Whereas this experience, what is it? Excursions are not included, but you usually get enough onboard credit to at least do one excursion. So I did get onboard credit to do one excursion. If you status match your MSC and come in at a tier, you'll also get some more onboard credit. Now that was a credit that I forgot was on the table. So I could have technically got another excursion out of that. So it's just like those kind of things of like, what do you value? I'm trying to remember for Regent, I'm trying to remember about the specialty dining restaurants. I can't remember. On the go, Yellow says hubby had one of those a couple years ago from a client. I had a fit because I didn't budget for it. Those taxes hurt. Yeah, I ain't gonna talk about, but I'll hit you up offline, Yellow. Yellow says we would spend time at the bar. No casino is needed. Now, I will say it's definitely a ship, and Yellow, I definitely can see you. You would also enjoy Explorer, and I can also see how Sig enjoys Explorer, because when I say like the lounge areas, the spaces to like socialize, like they have so many just wonderful spaces where like there's a couch, the bar's right there, bar service is kind of running, and you could just sit and talk and vibe. So yeah, you would definitely have a good time if like having good conversations over a cocktail is your thing. You would definitely appreciate Explorer. Because like pretty much anywhere there's a bar, there's just some sort of nice plush comfy, get comfortable and have a conversation in a cocktail spot. Melina says, or in my cruising era, says my Excel cruise is $3,800, and that's with a $300 fee to move the date. Cruising is not cheap at all. Let's see. Oh, cool. Hey, Carol, welcome in. Thanks for chiming in on this subject. So Brian had the question about who knows anything about buying jewelry on a cruise ship. Some folks say you can get a good deal. Some folks say it's not great jewelry. And Carol says, hey, everyone, trying to catch up on the lives tonight. She says, I had to chime in on buying jewelry on the ship. When I married, it was easier to get my husband to buy on the ship because of the relaxed vibe. Good to know. So they're not pushy sailors on ships. Cool. And Yolo says it's been lives all night or chatted all night. Oh, I must be frozen. Okay, the StreamYard did not want to switch comments. So cool. So that was embarkation day on Explora Journeys. I hope I didn't scare anyone. That was not my intention, but I definitely wanted to get into nitty gritties, and I wanted you all to sound off on, just what makes a luxury experience luxury, which is truly like those small things. And I think Paul gets the quote of the night, the unbelievable service. So that is truly like what, no matter the price tag, that really is the service, those small moments that kind of create a luxury experience. Speaking of experiences, we have the final call on the Ultimate Solo Group Cruise, which is happening June 22nd through 26th on Celebrity Reflection. If you are looking to try Celebrity for the first time and you want a good group of folks to hang out with, or if you, again, are like me and love those, like, find a good bar, find a plush lounger, just talk and have good conversations in the chair, this is the cruise for you. Final payment is coming up in April. So just be mindful, if you book after a certain period, you're going to have to pay the full cost. Talking about more experiences, I am hosting the Good Gov Getaway 2026, which is Epcot Food and Wine Festival, October 9th through 11th, 2026. Where we're going to eat and drink around the world at Epcot. You can scan that QR code for more information. There's a small registration fee because I need to get an accurate head count, to know people are actually interested in coming and are going to come. So there's a t-shirt involved. But that fee will cover, you will get the itinerary, and then there's like a little welcome event, and you'll get all the details once you pay that fee. For 2027, so 2 trips this year. And then 2027, we have the Ultimate Land and Sea, where we're heading to New Orleans for a little bit of experiencing the New Orleans culture, May 14th and 15th, 2027. Then we're going to hop on Carnival Dream for a 4-day cruise to Cozumel. And that's a cool itinerary. If you love talking about relaxation vibes, if you love that sea day sandwich itinerary where you got boarding day, sea day, Cozumel, sea day, home, this is the itinerary for you. And of course, you all know the vibes, people. Carnival always has a vibe. Then we were talking about the Good Girlfriend Virgin. I am hosting a sail with me on June 10th through 20th, 2027 on Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady out of Greece. So it does the Greek Isles itinerary, which is Mykonos, Santorini, Rhodes. Then we go over to Ephesus, Turkey. And then we have an overnight in Cairo. So 3 countries, 1 cruise. If you're a person who's like, I want to start traveling more, but I'm scared to go by myself, but you want to start checking those countries off the list, it's right here for you. It's about, the real price is about like $3,800 starting for solos. And for a couple or, doubles, about $5,000-ish starting price. And of course, Virgin, you pay a 20% deposit, but happy to give you all the deets. And then Virgin, for these longer cruises, starts throwing in a lot of sailor loot to cover some drinks and onboard expenses. Then 2027, closing out with the Good Gov Getaway 2027, which is on Norwegian Luna. That's October 7th to the 12th, 2027, out of NYC. Heading to Bermuda, but the focus is really going to be this lovely ship, which will be, I think, the first of the Prima Plus class. So yeah. Or if you just need help with, booking your family, your friends, your bucket list trips, hit me up at CWC. Or if you want help with, picking the right Explora journey for you, which ship More than happy to help you with that as well. Let's see some closing comments. So thank you, Carol, for letting us know about the real deal with buying jewelry on a cruise ship. Natalie says, this is my positive comment ending. She says, great information. I'm so glad you had this experience and you are sharing it with us. Yes, sharing it with you all so that you all can actually go out and try it yourself or decide you like, thanks, Steve, for sharing that. I don't want to go. And also, if you're looking for some people to go with, I know SIG has 2 groups out for Explore at the moment. And she has some good rates on that. So yeah, there's some opportunities out there. And Team Reese is saying, have a good evening, everyone. It's CMC. My mouth is about to fall off. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned this weekend. On Sunday, there'll be a premiere of St. Bart's, I believe. In the middle of the week, I'll drop another Royal Caribbean vlog. So hope to see you on the YouTube streets. It's CMC. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.